Because the fact to think that arena filled with 300 people can't, that one person,
it still can't find the person that said
that one person couldn't have said something crazy out of those amount of people is, come on. People talk crazy. People are drinking. All type of stuff is happening.
And it's Indiana.
Right.
Come on now. Indiana is not the.
I used to play against the Colts. I ain't never heard nothing.
Football, you further away from the fans.
Ain't that far, motherfucker.
I mean, it's further than basketball. Basketball, you literally, your foot is on the court. Or if you can be that close.
And people are in your lap, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so, all right, to give the beats, Angel Reese has the game, whatever. She said that she heard there's no place in this league for racism and discrimination. And that made them launch an investigation that they found nothing. And where do you land? Do you land on, you must prove something, or you didn't hear anything, or you land on, you ain't got to prove it, you probably did hear something. Where do you land on that?
It's not actionable unless you can prove something, right? So
she didn't describe or repeat any particular remarks. See, that's what's weird to me. Like, let's just be real. Act like this your daughter and y'all by yourself. If my daughter came home and said, I was in this daddy and they said this, I said, what'd they say? And they get quiet. I'm like, so what'd you hear?
Maybe her parent did do that.
Well, then why would you make this a public statement and not finish and say what you publicly heard?
I agree.
A public fight need to be having a public solution. That's all I'm saying.
And did she say that in the heat of the battle? You know what I mean? Like when it was fresh right after that game with the flagrant foul and
why
that
make you
all the antics.
That make you skew the truth?
It could have made her skew the truth because she sometimes people say something happened to make whatever it is that they did look better.
Yeah, that's true.
Or sometimes you misunderstand something because you're high in emotion in that moment.
That could be too.
So you think you heard something, and it might not have actually been that because you're already enraged.
Yeah. True. I agree with that. So if she doesn't know what was said, I don't know how you hear something and know that it was racial if you don't hear and know exactly what it was that was said.
So this is Marcellus Wiley with an urgent message for anyone struggling with over $10,000 in credit card debt. Here's what you need to do right now. Visit pt.monitordebt.com. They've helped thousands reduce what they owe by dealing directly with creditors, cutting balances by 30, 40, even 50%. This isn't a loan. This is a proven debt settlement program where you make affordable monthly deposits while they do the heavy lifting. Many clients become debt-free in 24 to 48 months. Don't wait another day drowning in interest. Call 866-204-0071 or visit pt.monitordebt.com. Your financial freedom is waiting. It's just one phone call away.
How can you describe something as being racial if you don't know exactly what it was?
But her statement still stands true, even if something happened or didn't happen, because she said there's no room for racism or whatever in this league. Yeah. So even if you found nothing, that's still a true statement. So they could just ride off of that and call it a day.
Didn't she say this last year though? Last season?
I don't know.
This was this season.
I know she said something like this last season.
About
racism, people saying stuff in the court. I mean,
it's
in the stands.
Like you talking about like when they were in college, or you talking about the
she played last year for WNBA.
Right, but I feel like this came up when they was in college too. When it
came up last year too. It's like it's coming up every year. It's like you're making a statement every year, and it's like the boy that cried wolf. And you don't have nothing to prove for it. I mean,
well, I think that speaks volumes about the quality of the WNBA game. We're more interested in the race narrative versus the actual game. We're not talking about Paige. We're not talking about Caitlin. We are talking about Caitlin. We're not talking about Nafisa. We're not talking about Asia. We're talking about someone who's a great rebounder but not a great basketball player, and it's the only way she's going to see the light of day. Without this narrative, she's not going to get the attention either. It's a reality. No hate, but she's not good enough to be talked
She did just set a WNBA all-time record.
For what?
First to 500 points, first to 500 rebounds. Yeah. So she gets attention. Like that is an accolade.
Yeah, I can be the first NBA player to miss my first 500 field goals, right?
That's not an accolade. You'll be out the league if
she's rebounding her own misses.
There's something There's some baity about this. Like I'm getting fatigued.
It could be a sympathy thing, like wanting to get that attention, like because everybody's killing her for how she's acting. Yeah. It's like, oh well, I was acting like this because of that. Yeah. So just to get the people off of you.
But they won't get off her. Like, it's a weird world. This is
try.
Huh?
You don't know unless you try.
No, you do know.
No, I'm saying that might have. I don't know if she did this or not. I'm just saying, like, her mindset maybe, let me say this because maybe this will get people off of me some.
Yeah.
You can't say for sure it will work or not until you actually try.
Well, I don't even think she's coming from that perspective. Like, my grandmother and me, the one that we just talked about, I was telling you that died, would really just look at her and be like, girl, if you don't sit your ass down because you bullshit. That's what my grandma would say. Now, my grandmother said that to me before and she was wrong. But most times she was dead ass right. Like, more than, matter of fact, I think she was wrong one time, but that is even being loose. It's because it's like, things are simpler than this. Occam's razor, as you always say, razor. It's like, it's simpler than we shouldn't have racism in this world. What happened? I don't want to talk about it, or I don't know, or I am not going to say. And what it is I swear she's a part of this new group of people who will say anything because the news cycle will reward it. Just like, you know, what clickbait is online, I think there's a now offline, which is called real life. Let me just say something. Like, Jussie Smollett is a real thing. And let alone if you're like someone who's trying to build a brand or has a huge brand, how do you feed that? How do you give it more embers? Like, and what you can do is just do this. And it just seems that way because it's starting to be like.
You nailed it. If it's not real, it sounds very selfish of her to, like, I'll put it this way. If she is being, if she's dealing with racism, I support her, I stand up for her. But if she's creating this fake, false narrative, it goes back to the fatigue. Like, now I'm going to feel fatigued. Why am I standing up for you when none of this is true? If it is, I want to stand up, fight for you. But if it's not real, why are you?
Yeah, why are you pulling on?
But there's one other thing is her hearing what she thinks she hears, and that's more of a mental issue. Like, she's always focused on hearing everything. It's like, so maybe they had Winnie the Pooh and Tigger were giveaways, and she's like, right, and so she's gonna hear what she wants to hear.
Tigger.
And right, and so that's a big. I think that's a bigger problem because she's hearing it, and it's not real. Yeah. It's manifested in her head because of how she's perceived. But if she's really manipulating things, she's got enough of a team around her. Like, that's not going to last long in Jussie Smollett.
That's part of playing the villain role.
Well,
it could be part of creating
that. So is she feeding into that, and that's bad. Like, that's gonna come down on her forever.
I never heard anybody outside of Jussie Smollett. I never heard a person say they were dealing with, like, hearing racial slurs and it not actually happen. Like, I feel like her playing in Indiana, I feel like there really is a high chance that she heard something. Yeah. Like, I don't think you come out at the end of the game and just say, yeah, they were saying racial slurs at me.
She should have said that then instead of, I didn't hear anything. Yeah. She damned herself with those comments.
Yeah.
And
he's also 22, 23-year-old.
I hate when you say that. Because you know what? You have such a low expectation at 22. Like, there are people who have graduated with 19 degrees at 22. You can call them an outlier, but I can say also they were expected to do great things. Then there's like most 22-year-olds do not get arrested, do not have problems, do not make up claims. And we need to start talking from that standard versus, well, at 22, you can make up something and it's because you're 22. No, you're just a liar.
That's not what I'm saying when I say that. My point is, regardless of who you are, at 22, you understand the things you're doing. But at 40, you can look back at some of those same things that you knew you were doing at 22 and say, I would have did this differently. That's just growth and maturity. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying right now, yeah, she knows what she's doing, but we're giving our feedback from a older, more mature mindset.
I am not.
So you, at 22, you didn't.
I knew not to lie.
Right.
Did you?
Right, but I'm not saying she lied. I'm saying at 22, I'm sure there's things you did that you look back now and be like,
but it's not.
That wasn't a good idea.
You can't give me something general like they're like her. She's saying racism shouldn't be allowed. They're like, all right, give me something specific. What happened?
No, what Gene responded to is I said I believe she actually did hear things. Eugene said, well, she should have said like what she heard.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, yeah, at this stage, yeah, that might be how you think. In that moment, who knows? Maybe she got a little over her head. Maybe she didn't know how to word that properly. I don't know.
Maybe her management team came in and said, shut the fuck up.
Maybe that. There's so many factors that could be why she didn't say
put
that.
out the blanket statement.
Well, so because she's got a lot of people telling her what to be and what to do because she's got all these deals. Everyone's sucking on the teeth of Angel Reese, right? Okay. They need her to be what they want her to be. And sometimes she just can't hold back. My father-in-law lost, like, he spoke out about Elian Gonzalez, who is the Cuban kid who came, and he spoke out about it, and he got his ass fired, and he was in such a good position because he spoke out. He couldn't keep his mouth shut. He would have been set. He spoke out. This is like where people can't, when you're 22, and I agree with you, Justin, you sometimes you get fired up and you say something that you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that, and everyone around you goes, ooh, shit, now it's damage control.
And now you got to reel it back.
Yeah, and now you got to reel it back.
Say, if you say something that's true, and then usually you lead with what you said that stepped in it. You lead with the specificity.
You
and
lead with
then
the specifics.
You go general.
You
don't go general and then be like, I ain't got no specifics.
Well, it's what she heard. She may have said it. Hey, I heard this, but did she really? Then she questions herself. Did she really hear it? And that's
or management could say, don't say that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm glad he said that. No one chooses football. Football chooses you. It's so crazy people still stuck in Pat Mahomes in the offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers?
This is Marcellus Wiley on the rocks.